And don't get me wrong, when I was working at the very beginning of my career, I remember like presenting and my creative director just not liking it, and I would cry.
Yeah.
I was so distraught. I was like, no, like I put
I
hours
worked
into
so
I
hard.
worked
Yeah.
so hard, so many hours, and I think that kind of just really trained me for like that's the real world. That is exactly what you're going to expect. It's either a hit or a miss, and you cannot, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. There are trends you can focus on. There are, literally you going out and see what other people are wearing and try and predict it. But at the end of the day, the consumer is the one who makes the choice, you know?
Hi, and welcome to Handbag Designer 101, the podcast with your host, Emily Blumenthal, handbag industry expert and the handbag fairy godmother. Each week, we uncover the stories behind the handbags we love, from the iconic brands and top designers to the creativity, craftsmanship, and culture that define the handbag world. Whether you're a designer, collector, or simply passionate about handbags, this is your front row seat to it all. Welcome to Handbag Designer 101, the podcast. We have the beautiful, gorgeous, very talented Anyah Sealey of A by Anyah, who is going to be one of our amazing handpicked, curated, selected, cherry-picked, all that good stuff for our New York Now It Bag section. Welcome, Miss Anyah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How are you today?
I'm great. Listen, this is my jam. I love talking to designers. There's nothing I enjoy more than hearing an origin story, because everybody ends up at the same place, but it's not a linear journey,
Exactly.
So where are you from originally?
So I'm from Ghana and Jamaica. Born in the US, grew up in London, Ghana, and Paris. And in the last 7 years, I lived in Amsterdam and currently living in Paris.
What languages do you speak, more importantly?
English, French, Dutch, and Tree from Ghana, and a bit of Patois.
You picked up Dutch?
Yeah.
How old were you when you were there?
I was there from about 20 to 28.
So adult. So you had to pick. Okay.
I
Wow.
didn't have to. I just I have as the Dutch say a taalknobbel, which is like a knack for languages.
Me too. Me
Yeah,
too. Yeah,
just
yeah,
the creative
yeah.
brain.
Yeah. No, I know. It's like wherever you are, you just kind of like tofu yourself in
Very
and you take the
exactly.
flavor. There you go. That's amazing. So you were born in Ghana.
No, I was
In You were born in Miami?
born in Miami.
Okay. Wow. So she carries passports. Another respect. That's good. Go to the front of the line wherever you are.
Absolutely.
So, how did this bag origin come to be? Like, was it something that started very young? Did you have affinity for it? Did you start sewing as a child? Like, how did all that come to pass?
So there was multiple like elements in my life where I was just like, Mom, I need a sewing machine. Mom, I need like I need arts and crafts. I need like beads. I had many of those phases. The first significant one I remember was going to beading school, which I really, really loved.
Beading school?
School in Ghana.
Where?
In Ghana, I think 9 or 10. And I was just so fascinated with beads. Up to this day, I still like wear like
What
waist
is
beads.
beading school?
It's just like an extracurricular activity for like kids. Well, not necessarily only kids, but like just like putting beads together and like making these like either it can be like an art piece or it can be like body wear, or because in Ghana the culture is to wear waist beads, which are kind of like a way to control the waistline in the community. And as a kid, of course, I didn't know any of this. I just thought that they were very pretty
It's
things.
pretty.
So I did that for a long time. And actually, that was my first ever business. I started like a beads business, I think at the age of like 11. And I would like sell my beads to like friends in school and stuff like that. So that's my entrepreneurial spirit, and my creative spirit was like, the match was there.
What
Very
number
young.
child are you?
I am the last,
That's why.
I
That's
guess.
why. You could do whatever you want this, go to beading school. And everybody,
Exactly.
that's it. That's it.
Exactly.
Of how many?
3.
Oh, so your
Yeah.
parents were tired. They're done.
Yeah, my mom was like, you can have whatever you want. My sister and brother are always like, she's the spoiled child. And I'm like, I'm really not. Mom is actually like kind of hard on me too, but like in a good way.
Wow. So you were into beading, and then how did that carry on? So you learned very young about having an affinity for something artistic, and you got a taste of small business. And was there
Absolutely.
anything specific that you can recall from selling your beads, of dealing with your friends?
That I was a money holder. I didn't do anything with it. I just saved. So I knew that I was good at saving and I knew that I was good at actually making money. So I just put them together again. By the age of like 14, I had asked my mom for a sewing machine, which my grandmother had. So that kind of started the journey of so I was in high school in Ghana as well. And you don't do it in the US, but we do A levels here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like in the
So
UK.
exactly. So we were doing our A levels and I had to choose my like three subjects and I ended up going for economics, which I don't know why. So and I can't remember the third one, but I remember like I had an exam and I just broke down. I was like, I can't do this. So I quit economics and then I went for art school. And that was the real begin. Like my friend just told me, like, you're so creative. Like, why don't you just like think that this might be the avenue for you? So I dropped economics like then and there, didn't do the test.
Wow.
Like went to the class, like dropped my pen, like I'm out of this class.
Wow.
Then I started art class and it literally changed my life completely. Like it really
That
gave
was
me
it.
that expression that I was looking for. It really gave me that understanding that I was a creative person. So I'm very thankful for that friend who is still in my life, Noor, who's also very artistic. But that kind of led me to going to university and making sure that I was going in a direction of fashion. I did like a foundation year to kind of figure out what avenue I wanted to do within the creative industry. And then I ended up studying fashion design. And then more importantly, I had a teacher who also changed the trajectory of my education. And he was like, you're really good at objects and you're really good at functionality. So you should definitely do handbags and accessories. And that's when it started. So
Wow.
it was from the beginning but in different like areas, but it was still like channeling and figuring out its way all along.
So all it takes is one person. Isn't that wild to kind of push you in that direction?
My life, my entire life, it's always been I meet that one person and like something changes because I'm a very people person in a certain way. I'm very like protected about the people that become my friends or. So that one person that becomes either not necessarily very close, but just gives that idea and sparks that, like childlike curiosity.
A seed plant.
Exactly. That really has been like how my life has moved.
So at this point, you started studying handbag design. Did that stick? Were you automatically like, ah, yes, this makes sense? Or was it,
It was like an immediate like click. I had this fantastic teacher in because I went to university in Paris and he, worked for Loewe, he worked for like these huge brands and he came and passed on all this information to us that was just so easy because it was for me it was a click. It was just so easy. I understood what I needed to do. There wasn't like really much explanation. It came to me very naturally.
how did you end up at school in Paris? How'd that go from Jamaica to Paris?
So I
Was that a
left.
big deal?
No, because I was raised in London. So it was just moving back to Europe. So
Right, right,
um,
right.
I left Ghana when I was 17. And I remember at the time I had like piercings everywhere. And my mom was like, if you don't take them out, you're going to like university in Ghana. And I remember like literally taking out all of these piercings. And then like, I'm going back to Europe. I went to, I did like a fast course in the UK for a year. That's where I did my foundation. And I was like, I just want something new. I just want a challenge. I've lived in London before for the most part of my life as a child, a kindergarten, let's say. And I just wanted something different. So I applied for Parsons actually in New York. I also applied for Parsons in Paris and I applied for ESMUD and a few other universities. And I ended up going to ESMUD in Paris. And that was really like the most amazing experience.
Do you think, though, and it's so funny because I've spoken to people who, like you, have moved around a bit, but then again, it doesn't seem unnatural to have moved around, right? Because by virtue of your family moving and so forth. And then it's like, then their parents are kind of shocked that they're not living with them at home. And it's like, but you primed me to be this person
Exactly.
who who's able to fortunately like land someplace and come up with skills to build something, start something, make friends, because it takes its toll on a child to come to new places and to find out who your personal brand is within the scope of this new space. You have to be almost like I call it tofu. You have to be able to take the flavor wherever you are and still try to be yourself.
If you ever wanted to start a handbag line and didn't know where to start, this is for you.
Living proof that independent designers can make it big.
Absolutely, Blumenthal is one prime example.
If you had dreams of becoming a handbag designer and didn't know where to start, this is for you. If you have a handbag brand and are in need of strategy and direction, this is for you. I'm Anyah Blumenthal, handbag fairy godmother and handbag designer expert, and this is Handbag Designer 101, the masterclass. Over the next 10 classes, I will break down everything you need to know how to make, market, and manufacture a handbag. Broken down for you that you'll not only skip steps in that handbag building process, but also save money in that learning curve. For the past 20 years, I've been teaching at the top fashion universities in New York City, created the Handbag Awards, and also the Handbag Designer 101 podcast. I'm going to show you like I have countless brands from sketch to sample to shelf, whether you're just starting out and don't know where to begin, or even if you have a handbag line and just need some strategic direction, the Handbag Designer 101 Masterclass is just for you. So let's get started, and you will be the creator of the next It Bag. Join me, Anyah Blumenthal, with the Handbag Designer 101 Masterclass.
And forever evolving. I think that's the trick with like moving so much, is that you have to be adaptable. And I think that is one thing that I learned as a child, but also was instilled in me by my family. My grandfather, he was also like a very avid traveler, especially for a Black man in the ages in
At
the
that
UK.
time. Yeah,
At
yeah,
that
yeah.
time. Exactly. Like every time I go on like business trips to China, he's like, yeah, I've been there, like, where are you? Are you in Shenzhou? Are you in like Beijing? And I'm always like, it's almost like we live the same life, but just at a different time. So I definitely think that that experience of my family really helped me like navigate these situations that I kind of put myself in. But they've always been like amazing experiences, because I think that's the way you learn, through experience, really.
It's funny because I've been told this, that you end up almost living the path of what your family did without even realizing it, that you end up following their footsteps in some backhanded, twisted way. You're like, oh, someone in my family did this and someone in my family did that. And then all of a sudden when you put two and two together, you're like, oh my God, I'm everything that they've like, that's it. Yeah. And then they're surprised at that, like, you're doing. It's like, but do you see what you built around me? I've been affected, and it's a good thing.
Yeah,
It's a
my
good
grandpa
thing.
calls me every time. He's like, so where are you now? Like, he can't put me in one place.
You're
Which is
Carmen Sandiego of the Sealey family. So you end up in Paris, and you could speak French by default from being from Jamaica. Yes? Was that there, or did you have to? Because patois and French, I mean, they're not the same.
So Jamaicans don't speak French, and it's not in Ghana either. I actually learned French whilst living in France, just having friends that are French and just like picking it up. Yeah.
Wow. So because Esmod, unlike Parsons, Esmod, the classes are in French.
I did my first 2 years in English, and then in my third year, in my master's year, I just decided, you know what, I'm
Screw
actually
it.
going to bite the bullet and do my classes in French. And that kind of propelled me like an extra level of just confidence in the language, and just, again, taking a challenge that really makes me uncomfortable, but really helped me navigate the language as I do today.
Those who actually are able to find and meet with success, it's so cheesy and it's so trite and it's so cliche, but it's really putting yourself constantly in a place of discomfort.
Absolutely.
And what comes from that is, you can live this very safe life where you do the same thing. But if you put yourself in places where there's risk, there's reward. I mean, there's obviously, it could go pear-shaped, but,
But I tried.
everything
Absolutely.
affects you moving forward. So, because you and I have spoken a bit in the past, like I know you've had a very storied handbag career before taking this, next step. What happened after you finished uni?
So I finished uni in 2016. Wow. No, more than. Yeah, 2016 or even 2015. 10 years ago. Wild.
Oh my God.
So I actually got an internship straight out of university, but it wasn't in Paris, and that's where I wanted to stay. It was in Amsterdam. So I packed up my stuff again and I was like, okay, I guess I'm moving to Amsterdam. I went there once before, I think with my aunt or my mom. And I was like, this city's kind of cool. There's a lot going on. There's like ferries and bikes and like cars, and it's just like a lot, but I feel like I can handle
Yeah.
it.
A lot of tall people.
A lot of tall people. So it was again another challenge. And I did my first internship at Karl Lagerfeld. I ended up, did I stay there? I think I ended up doing a year there. And then I moved on to Tommy Hilfiger. I got recruited. I think actually, no, I got recruited whilst I was at Karl Lagerfeld doing my internship. So again, I was looking for that window to kind of like go back to Paris. But then I got this opportunity and I was like, well, I'm not gonna not say yes, you know? I was like, I guess like 22 or something. I was like, this is a great opportunity, you know? So I worked for them for quite a while as a handbag designer, but during that role, I switched quite a lot. I did menswear, I did women's wear, I did kids, which I thought was very, very cute and fun. And I think just I did SLGs as well. And all these kind of mixtures helped me identify with what it takes to look at the creative director's perspective and create a product that actually works for the market. But also working in such a conglomerate kind of company, it helps you understand, okay, does this product actually work based on the numbers we're seeing? So it's more of a corporate way of working, but I think that really helped me understand, you know, what it is that I would expect for myself in my business. So it was a massive training for me. I think I was there for about 2 or 3 years. Then I was at Echo Leather Goods, and that was a really interesting time. It was during COVID, but it was really interesting because it helped me understand the other side. So the leathers, the tanneries, you know, the processing of how these bags are made. And they have like experimental courses as well, where they do like summer courses in the summer, where a lot of designers, different designers from different reaches and different areas in the industry come and essentially play about with tanning leathers and create products that, you know, might never been seen before. So that was a very interesting experimental time. And I was ahead of their department of, it was like a new project that they were working on. And they were just bringing new designers to create new stuff with their leathers and really just get a knack for experimentation. So I was head of that project, after which I started doing consulting. And I did consulting with like so many Y3, Calvin Klein, Caring Group. So that really kind of propelled me into, I've had a taste of corporate. I've had a taste of working for myself a little bit. I understand what it takes to do my own taxes. And that was like, okay, right. I don't want to work for anybody else anymore. So I packed my stuff up again, quit all my jobs, and moved back to Paris.
It's so funny because most people who didn't have, I'd say, privilege or luxury or didn't have that kind of experience, so many people get so emotionally vested with what they've created, what they've designed. And I've spoken to a lot of people within the handbag industry, but even speaking to, say, like Lou Frankfurt from Coach, whose episode is up, to take the emotion out of product that doesn't sell. And that for so many people is so difficult. And I think only after you've seen it from a corporate numbers, sales, you look at it from a holistic, like this didn't stick. Our customers didn't get it one way or another. We could have assumed, we thought it didn't work. We're going to pull it. It's got to go. And understanding price point and how far you can push the consumer to pay for something and the constraints. Like that is the best education you could have ever received and getting paid for it too. So
Absolutely.
I think, the most successful designers typically are those who've had that kind of experience and are able to see it beyond their ego, because just because you've had that doesn't guarantee success. However, if you're able to look at it like, okay, I already have a sense of the market that these silhouettes work for this kind of customer and these kinds of leathers work for that kind of customer. And if I'm going to just like go for it, I know that if I put this and this together and it's executed in the right way, then there's a high chance of this working.
Absolutely. And don't get me wrong, when I was working at the very beginning of my career, I remember like presenting and my creative director just not liking it. And I would cry.
Yeah.
I was so distraught. I was like, no, like I put hours.
I worked so hard.
I worked so hard, so many hours. And I think that kind of just really trained me for like, that's the real world. That is exactly what you're going to expect. It's either a hit or a miss. And you cannot, there's a lot of things you can do. There are trends you can focus on. There are, literally you going out and see what other people are wearing and try and predict it. But at the end of the day, the consumer is the one who makes the choice, So it was definitely a great training for my future. Absolutely.
How did you decide when you're like, that's it, I'm going for it? How did you come to the conclusion of what your it bag anchor piece hero item would look like without pulling from too many other brands, saying like, okay, I've been fortunate enough to see what sticks, but obviously I have my own vision, my own DNA, and exactly what you said, like, it's a hard learning curve that the first few times that you try to present something and it doesn't get shot down. It gets bulldozed down like, no, okay, thanks, next, moving on. And you're like, but you have to be that strong and tough and discerning with yourself. So how did you come to the conclusion, like, this will be my bag?
So I particularly design with emotion. I design
ironically.
I design when I'm upset. I design when I'm feeling happy. I design when there's something to express. And I have one bag that actually we're showing at New York now. And it's not out yet, but I just know. It's more than a feeling. It's more than numbers. It's literally every single time I've worn that product, I've had strangers come up to me like, wow, where did you get that bag from? And it's been really encouraging because it gives me so much hope that, like every next step is better than the one before, even if I feel like I'm going 10 steps back at every single step with every step. But, I think it's just, because the market, your education, and you just have to kind of trust, what you do know, which in my case is my experience and what has worked for me before and what's currently working in the market.
So it's so funny because what you said was so right, left brain. Like, I lead with emotion, but I have to follow what sells. But I know this is good. It's so funny. Quick question. How did you decide about putting your name on the brand? Because that's a risk. Yeah. Also, I mean, it's kind of funny if you're looking like long term. Well, if I get acquired, then there goes my name and, big picture. And you seem like a big picture kind of gal. So what made you say like, that's it? It's about me, not in the selfish sense, of course.
Oh, I mean, we can be selfish. We're allowed to be. It's fine.
I mean, yeah, that too.
But so initially the brand was called A. And I think for the first...
That's hard to trademark.
Exactly. it was like for the first 6 months, it was like, well, people kept asking, well, what's the brand? And I'm like, A, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
So for a while I was just like, oh, I don't feel like it's getting understood. It's not being understood.
Right.
Anyah was already taken, but most importantly, I think I'm just doing justice by the meaning of my name, which is the river of love. So I really feel that I'm providing something that is beautiful, and I'm sharing what my purpose is, which is to provide things that are beautiful, which for me is love.
Aw.
So I really believe that I'm just doing justice by my name. And in terms of acquiring it, I have 5 other names, so it's all good. It's all good.
5 other names. Take one, pick one. Oh my goodness. Anyah, how can we find you, follow you, buy your beautiful bags within the river of love of A by Anyah?
So socials are A by Anyah. The brand is also A by Anyah. My personal Instagram is Black the Creator. That's also one of my second names, Black. And TikTok is A by Anyah _official. And Anyah is spelled Anyah for anyone that did not know.
Thank you. I was about to spell it and you just saved me. It has been so wonderful having you. I can't wait. And for anybody listening, make sure you come to the Javits Center. And if this runs after, I'm not sure, I have to check. Absolutely check out Anyah's bags. They are storied. They are beautiful. We found her. We picked her. She is a gem that's going to be doing big things. So I can't wait. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you for the time that you have invested in me so far. And I'm really excited to be at New York now and excited to meet you.
Yes, me too.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to rate and review and follow us on every single platform at Handbag Designer. Thanks so much. See you next time.